Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Wesley Hunt. I am the CEO and co-founder of Optic Systems. We are headquartered right here in Jacksonville, Florida. We actually have an office at the Link in St. Johns County. Today I'm here to tell you a little bit about a solution to a problem that actually affects probably everyone in this room. And if it's not affecting you today, I guarantee it's going to affect you over the next several years. And to prove that, I'm going to just do a little audience poll real quick, if I could just get a quick show of hands. Anyone in the house here, or anyone in the building today ever built a home? Raise a hand, build a home. How about rented a home? How about live in an HOA currently? Lived in an apartment complex? Visited a commercial retail space? Drove your car on a public road? Walked on a public sidewalk? I think we got everybody. The one thing that every one of those, or the item that every one of those things has in common is that they all require a reoccurring inspection of some sort. And that could be for a variety of reasons. Maybe they need to fulfill a permit requirement. Maybe it's a regulatory regulation that's in place. Maybe it's just general safety and maintenance of a site or a site condition. And what's interesting about that is every one of the companies that does that right now is probably somebody that you probably don't know, don't think about. And most days you're going about your life, and then all of a sudden, that neighbor moves in, and they're a lovely couple. They're a little bit unique or eclectic, and they've decided to take up RVing, right? And they're going to park their 92 Winnebago in the driveway for the next 6 weeks, and your property values start to go down, and you're calling the management company going, who's coming out here? Who's inspecting this? Who's maintaining this? Our loving mother-in-laws that we all have, right? She's going to Joann Fabrics, and she trips over a wheel stop, smashes her face. All of a sudden, it's important to you guys at that point, and you're asking the question, who manages this? Who's responsible for this? And someone needs to pay for it. And at the end of the day, they do pay for it, and they pay for it with millions of dollars in lawsuits and legal fees. But what's interesting about all of that is the companies that manage every one of those, they're facing several different challenges right now. Right now, there's several new regulatory requirements. There's a higher demand for accountability amongst many of these management companies and inspectors. You've got a well-informed public with information related to all of this stuff right at their hand, right at their fingertips on their phone. And on top of that, every one of these industries is facing an unprecedented labor shortage. And this labor shortage, as you can see from some of these statistics, they're unable right now to perform the inspections necessary to keep up with the infrastructure work that's going on, home building, commercial landscaping, HOA management. And so across the board, it affects all of that. So that's something that Optic Systems was built to do. Ultimately, it's something we realized in 2018 that there was a problem with this. It was a labor problem, it was an inspection problem, it was a management problem. And so using basically a series of 360-degree video capture devices, our people, our fleet of vehicles, as well as our proprietary software inspection for providing virtual inspections, as well as a collaboration with several strategic partners to integrate with their software platforms, and we're able to now unify data across multiple platforms, multiple vendors. And through all of that, Optic Systems is now servicing basically 4 sectors, and all of these sectors are unique, but yet interrelated, and we kind of start with a couple different ones. We have Compliance View 360, which is your HOA inspections, covenant enforcement, management of your HOAs, Public Works, roadways, code enforcement, asset management, Landscape 360, commercial landscapers, MyBuild, new home construction, and land development. All of that is intertwined and uniquely connected, and we're able to do all of that with our service without changing the way that we operate or our software itself. All 4 of those verticals wrapped up into Optic Systems gives us an available TAM at our estimation of $31.7 billion. And where are we today? We currently have 2 patents on using 360-degree video to do property inspections. We have a 3rd patent pending before the office, and we're just submitting a 4th patent for this product. We currently have a driver application that we built in-house. It's available on iOS and Android for our drivers, specifically to help them navigate and do inspections either via walking or driving. We have, as of January this year, we just launched our brand new software platform, so it's the 2nd iteration of our platform. We have a very well established, well-connected, and experienced team. You've got about 50 plus years of experience in the different verticals that we currently service. We recently won 2 awards here at Jacksonville at local shows. We won a JVC Showdown here in Jacksonville. We also won the SEPNA Awards for Most Investable as well just recently. I think that was November. And where we're kind of a 2023 recap for what we did. And a lot of people said, well, this can't be scaled, this can't be done. In our first 16 months, we are now have cars, equipment, and people and are servicing 11 states, 18 geographic markets. We did about 800, on average, about 800 plus inspections a month using their service platform. And in 2013, we generated just over $700,000 in annual reoccurring revenue. And all of that was done with a very small team. We have 1 salesperson. We have very little marketing. And a lot of this was just word of mouth and the absolute need from several industries. And the other really interesting thing about this is every one of the 4 verticals that I showed you, we actually are operating or servicing under the Compliance View 360 name before we now switch to Optic Systems. So when you say, hey, you know, this is under just Compliance View 360. No, this is actually servicing the public works sector, cities, municipalities, asphalt companies, commercial landscapers, HOA management companies, home builders, home developer or land developers. Every one of those was being handled under Compliance View 360, and it's now being kind of just from a marketing standpoint been pulled out into the 4 different operating companies, but they all go up to Optic Systems. Optic Systems is the parent company for all of them. Much easier to market when you're speaking their language. If you say Landscape 360, commercial landscapers immediately pick up the phone. So for us, all of this is already being done. That's what we've done in, like I said, in just about 16 months. Kind of up next, I'll just start with in 2018 is when we started the R&D on it. We launched in May of 2022. We founded Optic Systems and kind of rebranded in August 23. We officially announced Optic Systems in 2023. And basically by 2026, our goal is to do just a couple things, which is add augmented reality and object recognition into the platform. We want to get into 17 different states, 25 geographic markets, and we expect to be doing between $8 and $10 million in annual revenue. Today, our ask is basically we're looking to raise $2 million seed round for return 20% equity in Optic Systems, and it's specifically for growth. It's for marketing. It's for sales. We'd like to not do this by word of mouth anymore. We'd actually like to get salespeople and marketing out there, and we think we can grow this thing pretty big. Thank you all. I look forward to working with you. Happy to take questions.
So are these proactive or reactive inspections?
Proactive.
Okay, so talk us through kind of a case study, if you will, on kind of once somebody hires you, why they hire you, and kind of what takes place next.
Yeah, so I'll start with just the HOA because that was our first one. HOA is a $92 billion industry. Most people live in an HOA. They have zero idea that's how much capital runs through HOAs in the United States. You got to remember Canada also has HOAs, Mexico has them. But every one of those generally has a contract with a management company that says you must perform site inspections, whether it's covenant enforcement, whether it's just general maintenance. There'll be 380,000 associations by 2030 in the United States. 70% of new homes are built in HOAs, and there's only about 55,000 managers in the United States. You already have a massive gap. The average age of those community managers is 55 years old. They're all aging out, and nobody wants to come into that industry. And the people that do say, isn't there an app for this? Why do I have to go out on site with a clipboard and take a picture? So for us, we've had massive growth in the HOA market right out of the gate was because they physically can't manage the inspections right now by themselves. So what's great about that model, though, is it's monthly reoccurring. So we go every single month and we do an inspection for that community. Sometimes we do it twice a month, sometimes we do it 3 times a month. But where it's really great for our entire product is because we have to do that in these markets, we keep cars, people, and equipment in every one of those markets so that when the public works people call, asphalt, roadway inspections, they call us, I can be there in less than 24 hours and provide them with that inspection. So our HOA side is what keeps us in the market and gives us that reoccurring revenue. Everything else is a cherry on top for us. And so it's very proactive at this point versus reactive as it's been in the past.
Can you explain the business model, how you charge your customers and how you generate revenue for yourself?
Yep. So Compliance View 360, Landscape 360, and My Build 360 are all reoccurring revenue models. So we charge them a rate based on a tier, and I can get into that detail in a different discussion. But ultimately, it's reoccurring every single month. The only one that's project-based is Public Works, although code enforcement is a little bit unique on that in the sense that that's every single month, every single week type deal. But it is a reoccurring business model. We do charge for the software cost as well as the service.
And it's the holding company that's raising
The holding company Optic System is what you'd be investing into. It's all 4 verticals rolled up into Optic Systems.
And then let's just I've asked this of everyone else. What do you think about exit? Where are you headed there? Timeline? Who might be an acquirer?
Yeah, I mean, I think initially under the Compliance View 360 piece, we were looking at hopefully to get in and get out pretty quickly. But with all of these other verticals coming up, I think this is kind of a longer play for us. I think we're 5 to 7 years probably to really grow this thing massive and get out. But there's all that infrastructure money coming down, all this new infrastructure that's being built. There's inspection needs across the board in all these different industries. Like, it's massive, and I don't know that we're even really ready to say that yet.
Have you explored a franchise model?
We have. So we actually do a couple different things right now, and I'll just note on our driver services model. We have W-2 employees that are full-time, drive our vehicles. We have part-time W-2 employees who drive their vehicles, and we're experimenting with the Uber model right now to use gig service drivers, where we just train them and we provide them with the equipment, and they can just go out at a moment's notice. We've looked at the franchise model a little bit, haven't spent too much time exploring it. The Uber model has been nice because it gives us the ability to get into markets where, generally if you're going to put a car in equipment, there's a cost to that. But if we can use the Uber model, I can go into markets and only do 10 inspections in Albuquerque, and I could go do it today. So that's been a really nice piece for us.
I think UPS I can't remember which ones when they started out. It was either UPS or FedEx did the franchise model, and it was very successful.
Yep.
So it might just be a nice use case to take a look at.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Any other questions? I appreciate it. Thank you all.